Namaste and welcome to another episode. Today we're going to make a really simple but very important element of a thali of an Indian cuisine, which is a roti. But we're going to make it out of a special flour, which is a sorghum millet flour, also known as Jowar flour. We're going to be using Jowar flour and blend it with a lot of spices to make it flavorsome. But a special ingredient that I have been preparing for goes into this. Let me show you what that is. So here I have been growing some microgreens for a week and it's about time that I use them. I'm going to show you how you can use microgreens in many different ways. You can eat them raw on salads, in sandwiches, but today we're going to use it to make chapati. Let me show you how you do that. So first we are going to mix spices into the jowari atta. The spices are going to be some ground red chili pepper, some turmeric, some coriander powder, and of course the seasoning of salt. You can even add some pepper to it if you like. You add these spices to the flour and then knead it into a nice dough. I have my dough ready over here. It's been pre-kneaded because it had to be rested before I can turn them into chapatis. And now I am going to chop up some fresh microgreens. I've sprinkled them with water and washed them thoroughly. And now it's time. You can add these beautiful microgreens and blend them into any dough and make a chapati or a paratha out of it. Now, why didn't I blend the microgreen previously is because I don't want to break these microgreens a lot. So it's the last thing that I'm going to add to this dough. And there we go, my dough is ready. I'm going to cut them into small little pieces, roll them into balls and make chapatis. Now making chapatis is a little bit of a messy affair because we are going to be taking a little bit of the flour and sprinkling it on top of so that the flour doesn't stick to it. And now I'm going to roll a good amount of the dry flour onto this, flatten it out. Now we have to be careful with all kinds of millet flours and especially sorghum millet because while you're rolling the chapati flat, it might crack from a certain places. So let's not make it too big, only medium size until it starts to crack. And once our pan is heated, we're just going to flip it over so that we don't end up breaking the chapati. The millet chapati is roasting. We're going to add a little bit of coconut or groundnut or sesame oil, any cold press oil of your choice. And now just flip it over and add some oil to the other side. And there we have our jowari and microgreens roti ready. Let's grease it up with some oil. You can put as much oil as you like. If you're eating cold press oils, the good fat is absolutely healthy. So do not be afraid. Use the oil on top of the roti very sparingly. Pair it up with a bowl of curd and maybe some pickle and you're good to go for a nice little meal.